NBC6 is your local election headquarters at the state capitol. A bill that would lessen penalties for possessing small amounts of marijuana heads towards its final debate.
NBC6's Shannon Hecht joins us now with details on the bill and how the debate is shaping up. Shannon?
The bill by Representative Cedric Glover is one of the few marijuana bills that are still left in this legislative session, and he says he's getting support on both sides of the aisle for it. So today it passed out of Senate committee and heads to the full Senate floor for it could be its final debate before it heads to the governor's desk. After overwhelming support on the House floor, Representative Glover's bill narrowly passed the Senate Judiciary Committee with a vote of 3-2. The bill would decriminalize small amounts of marijuana. Anyone caught with 14 grams or less of the drug would not have jail time and just a $100 fine on the first offense. Many agree that someone should not become a felon for having an amount that is considered to be just for personal use.
Obviously, if we've gotten to a point to where we can agree that this is an issue that should no longer send you to jail or make you a felon, then there's some other common ground to be found there as well, just as we've done around the issue of medical.
The bill is a reflection of an ordinance in place in Shreveport since 2019, where Representative Glover represents. In committee, a speaker in favor of the bill brought up that even with cities that have this policy, law enforcement could see some inconsistencies between local and state law.
Once the Shreveport legislation went into place and became the local ordinance, what was reflected was that there's a similar ordinance that exists in Baton Rouge, a similar one in New Orleans. The challenge is that it's only applicable when you encounter local law enforcement.
The other bills presented by Representative Newell and Representative Nelson this session were much more expansive in decriminalization as well as legalization. This bill is the narrowest focus on the reduced penalties. With such a close vote in committee, Representative Glover expects a tougher debate in the Senate.
Yes, we've got to make sure that we stop and take the time to do our due diligence and make as much individual contact as we can to air these issues out.
With the large support that he got on the House floor, Representative Glover says that he is hopeful that he'll be able to work with those senators to get the support to get this bill passed and sent to the governor's desk, since there are just 2 weeks left in this legislative session. At the Capitol for your local election headquarters, I'm Shannon Hecht.
Thank you very much for that update, Shannon.